His eyes changed like black. Like, I'm like, oh, this man is not good. Like, something bad is about to happen. I woke up, it was like 6 a.m. to a slap across my face. This is a demon. A tall, scary demon. This is where I had my encounter with God. So God started having the enemy speak. This is like the first time that Mr. Workbabe was starting to show me that he's possibly hands-on, like domestic. Okay, so we made up again, went to my house, and typically like the way that we would sleep, like he'll cuddle me until I fall asleep, and then like he'll, for some reason, like when I wake up, like he'll be on the floor, right? And so I got up out of my sleep, and I think I went to go reach for the blunt that was on my TV stand. And what I had seen in the spirit was demons. So God was trying to show me something then, but I just disregarded it because like typically I only see stuff like that. Like if I'm just like opening my eyes up from my sleep, but then I just like close it. Cause I will always be able to see as a child. I don't know. That's a story for another day. So I'm just like, okay, that's weird. So moving on, eventually started to not talk to me again. I decided to look up where he stays or whatever and drove to where he was.
Oh my gosh, I forgot to tell y'all that I got a car back in July. But let's get back to the story.
And I left a letter in his car. And I left, but it wasn't anything mean. I'm just like, you know, why are we arguing for? Why are we not speaking for? I don't like that. And so, you know, after that, I was trying to actually make up for all the wishy-washiness that he was putting me through. And this was one particular morning. This was in October. I'll never forget it because we was about to go to Starbucks, right? And on the way to Starbucks now, this is another thing that God does. I get into a car accident. Like randomly. And it wasn't even like a bad hit. Like I tapped this person's car and my car is wrecked on one side. And so I'm like, dang, like that's crazy. Like I barely even hit this person, but you know, I kept it pushing. And so me and Mr. Workbabe, we went and got some Starbucks, and then later on that night we started arguing again. I'm just like, all right now. Like, come on. Now I really don't want to be with you no more. Because I don't have time to be arguing with you every other day. Because I was about to lose my place. So I'm just like, I really don't want to be in this relationship if this is how it's going to be. If we're going to be arguing and I'm not sure if, you know, we gonna be good or not the next day. Like this man was just like super bipolar.
Okay, so this is going to be a quick update through October. So obviously this relationship was driving me insane. And transparently, Acquired Taste Man was actually helping me pay for my bills just as a friend. I really appreciated him more as a friend than whatever we were before. He didn't want to see me fail or lose my place, so he was actually very helpful. And since me and Mr. Workbaby broke up, I started to text this one guy, but it was nothing serious. Like he knew how I was feeling. I was just talking to him literally as a friend. I knew he liked me, but I was just telling him how I was feeling about my ex. But he decides to pull up to my job just to see me. And, you know, I didn't mind that because I wanted to wake up Mr. Workbabe, like, because I was tired of his ways. But he ends up becoming physically ill as a result. He was throwing up. And so he ended up quitting because he realized that we don't need to be working together. And I felt bad. So we got back together after that. All right, so y'all, he finally let me come over to his house. And when I got there, he told me that his ex was over and that she helped take care of him while he was throwing up. And so I felt a little bit of a way, but I forgave him because it was partially my fault. And so I ended up staying at his house for a few days. And while I was there, I got to meet his daughter. We vibed. I met his dad randomly as I was leaving one day. And so I found out that the house is actually his dad's house and that my Mr. Workbabe, I almost said his name, y'all. Mr. Workbabe was about to inherit the house. And his dad was very sick. He had cancer. So keep that with y'all. But this is one last thing. So one night he was supposed to come back to my house to help me pack. And so he said he wanted to cop some weed first. But he said none of his plugs was answering, so he was gonna get some weed from his ex. And I was just like, I don't know how I feel about that. And so he was just like, I'm just gonna get it, and then I'll be on my way. And so I'm like, okay, so I ain't hear from this man for like 2 hours. I even had time to make it through the cookout line. Y'all know that be long. So I made it through the whole cookout line. And so I was like, I'm going to just make my way to his house because like, I'm going to see if they're actually at his house and not at her house. But when I get there, he's actually pulling up. So he was surprised, but he wasn't upset or anything like that. But he was kind of looking guilty. So yo, why when I smell him, he smells like private parts have been on him, right? And his hands smell super clean. So it's just like something not adding up. Like, why are you not all the way clean, But his hands smelled like Dow soap. And so, I questioned him about it, and he was just like, yeah, she was trying to push up on me, but, I told her no. I'm just like, But anywho, as the night proceeds, he comes back to my place, and I was highly upset about everything. And at this point, he was trying to get me to forgive him by seducing me. And I was getting mad because I'm like, he's taking me for a joke. And he starts to become more forceful, but he's saying to me simultaneously, I know what I did, but I know you're not going to leave me, and I'm sorry. And so we had sex, and I cried during that. Because I just didn't want to. Like, it just wasn't right. I was feeling so sad and upset with myself.
Okay, so I hope y'all following me. But as y'all know our nature, like we're on and off. And so this one particular night, this is a night that God was trying to warn me again. And give me a sign like I need to go, but I'm not picking up what he putting down type thing. And so me and Work Bae, we at Work Bae's house, and we on the couch, but the couch, the living room, there was like 2 living rooms, but the living room was connected to the kitchen, right? So I turned my head to the right, and I jumped because I seen a black tall figure, y'all. Like I lied to y'all, not like that thing was so scary. But then I thought to myself, I was like, ooh, maybe it's your mom. He said, you think it's my mom? I was like, possibly so, but I was like, I wish you could see what I'm seeing right now. Cause like, mind you, I'm in tears. Like I was in tears. It was just like, well, do you think that she approves of us? I was like, I think so, And so we try to make that a little moment, and y'all, like, hindsight, like that wasn't his mother. Like what God was showing me, that was not his mother. Cause I wouldn't be crying and shaking like that. I wouldn't have been crying and shaking like that. That was a demon, a tall, scary demon. Like it like the silhouette of a grim reaper. I can't even say it right. Grim Reaper. Yeah, it was just weird. So the next day, like we wake up, he starts to act weird, and I'm like, what's wrong? And he was like, my demon's telling me that you cheating on me. And I'm like, who? Like, what's going on? But he's not telling me. And he asked me a few questions, and I did tell him that Acquired Taste Man was helping me with my bills and stuff like that. I didn't want to lie. I just wanted to be honest, because he questioned me about it. And so after that, he was like, you need to leave. And y'all said something so crazy. I was like, you're gonna have to kill me for me to leave. I wasn't thinking. I'm just thinking of like just saying anything so he won't have me leave, because I want to talk about it, because I want to know, what's going on. He asked me another question. He was like, how many of your friends know that that he's taking care of your bills? And I was telling him like who knew. Like I said, I've been trying to keep it honest. I don't want no issues. I don't want no more issues. That's why I said that. And he wasn't feeling that. And so y'all, he choked me to the ground. Like after he choked me to the ground, y'all, cried, and I left. And I went to go to one of my homegirls that was nearby. And I really should have left when I seen that Grim Reaper the night before. Like that was scary. And so a week later, I'm moving out my place, and me and Work Bae, we back together again. He's helping me pack my stuff or whatever. So we're taking my stuff to the storage unit, and there was still some things left behind to where we needed to make another trip. But he was saying, we're gonna wait keep the U-Haul, but everything is out the house. So I already turned my keys in. But mind y'all, I have to go to work. So I was just asking him in the meantime, like, since I don't have time to take my stuff to my cousin's house, like, can I keep some of my stuff here because it's some things up in there. So he was just like, he's like, nah. I'm like, dang, okay, whatever. It's like my car may get broken, so he's like, no, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. So I'm like, okay, cool. Mind you, I don't know why I couldn't keep my stuff in there because I was going to spend the night anyhow at his house. But I digress. So went to work. I came back out, y'all, and the security people, they was like, oh, your car got broken into. And I'm just like, oh, I'm sure, But like, I didn't even react. I didn't really take anything. They really just broke my window and trashed my car. I think they took like my MacBook, but it won't even work anyhow. And then I think they took my speaker and they took my work shoes because I needed some new work shoes for where I was working at. I actually had money under my passenger seat, but remember that car accident that I got into? Thank God I had that car accident, so they weren't able to access that money. But that was just another sign that God was telling me, like, I need to leave, but I wasn't, like I said, I won't catch him when he was putting down for real. So yeah, pay attention. Pay attention. The bad things that you think be happening to you, God is trying to get your attention. So after all that happened, like I said, he knew that I was coming back, so I don't know why I couldn't keep my stuff over there. So it's probably like 4:00 in the morning that I'm getting off. I'm driving to his house. His house like about 15 minutes away from where I work at. So I get there and he doesn't answer the phone. Like, I'm throwing everything at the window trying to get him to wake up and stuff like that, calling him. He doesn't answer. So now I gotta sleep in my car, all embarrassing. Not even though nobody seen me. I seen me, and I was starting not to like what I was doing and what this relationship was doing to me because I was just looking stupid. But I wanted a man so bad. I wanted, it's terrible. Eventually he came outside and got me. And he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I feel so bad or whatever. And he was like, I know a guy that fixes up the windows. I was thinking, he was going to go with me. He didn't even go with me. Like, if you're not going to offer no money, at least go with me. Because like, I'm a lady. This is the person that you told me to go to. Like, I'm not really, even though I know what I need, I just want to make sure that I'm not getting finessed even with price. But actually, the guy actually did a discount on my window. He was very nice. I was just very thankful that I was able to pay for my window. Anywho, I still had the U-Haul, right? And he's telling me, oh, we're gonna get back to it in a few days. I just gotta get my stuff done. I'm always doing stuff for you. I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, do you? It seems like I'm doing what I always do. I always end up taking care of myself, So let's keep that with you. Okay, so yeah, after that, homegirl, she ends up coming to help me see out everything. Mind y'all, we picking up a heavy dresser and it collapses. Like, I'm just like, wow, like, this is crazy. He should have been here to help. But, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because he said he'd be helping me and I just didn't want to argue. Yeah, so we fell out. I actually ended up cheating on him and I ended up having this one nightstand. And at night, me and Work Bay, we on the phone talking again. He wants to talk about, we was talking about marriage and all this type of stuff. And he was just like, if we get married, we got to be honest. And so I was just like, okay, but I didn't tell him about what I just did though. Told him like a little white lie or whatever. It was just like, well, at least we being honest. But come over, baby. Like he said, baby, come over. So I'm like, okay. And then I go over there. Y'all, mind you, it's like 5 a.m. that I'm driving over to this man's house. I get there, he's greeting me like with a smile and everything. And he opens up the door, y'all. And when he opens up the door, he pulls me out. He slams me on top of my car trunk, like to sit me down. And so he's pacing back and forth. And I see his eyes change like black. Like, I'm like, oh, this man is not good. Like, something bad is about to happen. And mind y'all, like, since we're going through these cycles or whatever of on and off, I'm forgetting that he's hit me before or he's choked me before. I'm answering his questions, and this man, he's choking me. He's slapping me. Then he takes me off the car, pushes me and slides me against every single car that's in the driveway. And his dad comes out and he's like, come in here so we can talk. Y'all need to come in here so we can talk. And so I'm like, I got tears coming out my face. But Mr. Workbay, he wasn't feeling that. He's like, no, like, you don't understand. You don't know what's going on. So, like, just go back in the house. Like I told y'all, his dad is sick with cancer, dying with cancer. And his daughter was in the house while all this was going on. It was a lot of foolishness going on. I want to go home. Like, I regret even agreeing to come here. And it's my dad's birthday. And mind you, I don't even have my phone anymore. This man done took my phone. He done took my glasses. So I'm out in Atlanta. Like I said, I'm not from here. This man is going ballistic on me. And y'all, this went on for hours. He did not let me leave. Eventually, it transferred from outside to inside, to where like he's hitting me or he's choking me, smothering me in the couch. And his daughter is around, but she doesn't see exactly what he's doing to me. But she just saw that I had tears. Like, anytime that he would do something to me, like, he'll give her a task to do. And so all she seen was, tears. So she like, Daddy, like, what's wrong with Lonnie? He's like, Lonnie is a lion A, B. And after the night was over, my dad's birthday is over. Now he comes up to me and he apologizes. He's like, I'm so sorry, baby. Like, you just make me feel crazy, and I don't want you to be cheating on me and stuff like that. And like, I really love you and blah blah blah, and you like just do better next time. And I won't hit you again. I promise. So I'm just like, okay. And after that, we went to being like a little happy family the next day. Okay, so yeah, after that, we had Thanksgiving together, got to meet his family, and his family was cool. Mind y'all, I really forgot what just happened a few days ago. So like we looking all cutesy. We went to all the houses, made our stop-bys. Then there was this particular moment of the night where I made a video actually, but I was so dissociated, y'all. Like, I'm gonna insert the sound, but I'm not gonna insert how I look. Like, I was just rambling, but I was talking about the things that I was going through with him, and we just laughing about it. It just sounds terrible. So I'll insert the sound, but I won't play the video.
Y'all just should have been there. But we didn't want nobody there because we trying to be with our family.
That's a fact. We're going to start our own family.
Mm-hmm.
You done got jumped in.
And the thing is, though, I did. I got initiated on Sunday, y'all. I tell you, it's been a rough few months. I've been getting haze, y'all. I've been getting the haze.
Haze is tough.
I've been getting haze. And so, I finally crossed today. Mm-hmm. Today was the probate.
We saw her in today. Had a ceremony.
Yes.
Now she's locked in for life.
After that, though, like, we decided that after Thanksgiving, we decided time apart just to get our lives together. Then December came around, and I came to my senses, and I was just like, I don't think we should be together anymore. So we just, let it be type thing, let it breathe. And maybe a few weeks later, I was at work, and I was like, dang, like, I got an itch that I want to scratch. So I hit him up, and I was like, I miss you. And he was like, I miss you too. And so I was asking him, can I come over after work? Yeah, you can come over. So after I finished setting up my appointment, right, I just started smoking hookah with my coworker. And this man, he comes over, but I was just like, he looked familiar. I think he's in that show that I used to watch. I didn't tell him or, acknowledge that thought out loud or nothing like that. But keep up with me. Okay, so turns out he knew my coworker. This man, he was letting her know that he was intrigued by me. So she was introducing us to each other, and she was just saying like, Tay, everybody calls me Tay. So she was like, like, she's so sweet. Tay is this and Tay is that. Like, I'm chilling though, because my mind is set on the appointment. And I'm not even thinking about whatever this man was thinking. I'm rejecting anything that he's offering out. I'm just rejecting. Thinking about, because he was like, can I have my private chef cook for you? And I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I'm not hungry. It's like, okay, well, I have a black truck that can come get us or whatever. I'm not gonna come anywhere with you alone. But if you wanna hang out, we can maybe get coffee or whatever. I'm thinking, if anything, a business connect. I do like creative direction. So I was looking more into that rather than going wherever he was trying to have me go with him. So the last thing that he was just saying, oh, I'm going to after hour. Do you want to come to that instead? And I was just like, okay, well, maybe that, like that sounded a little bit better to me rather than going to his place. You know, all the stuff going on in the industry. Like I don't want no parts. I don't want no parts. So I was just like, yeah, maybe I'll see. And he sent me the address, and the address was on the way to Mr. Workbay house. So I was just like, okay, cool. If my friend comes with me, if she agrees to go, then I'll go. And so he was just like, okay. And then, so after I get off work, we're heading to the after hour spot. But turns out the man from the bar, he gave me the wrong address. So I was like, okay, well, I can't go now. He starts to blow my phone up. And I'm telling him, like, look, I'm not coming. He's like, I'm going to send you a black shirt. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like I said, we can probably meet for coffee another time or something like that. But I'm okay. My homegirl, she is ready to go home, but I'm like, dang, I'm sorry that I had dragged you out to something that's actually not happening. So I had her drop me off at Workbay's house, and she went back home in my car, and she asked Workbay, like, are you gonna take her home in the morning? He was like, yeah. So, we all thought we was on one accord. So Workbay, he's asking me, why am I getting out so late? And I'm telling him, I'm really am coming straight from the club, because like I told y'all, this place that the man had sent me was on the way to Workbay's house. So I really was coming straight from work. But when I found out that, it wasn't happening, or that I wasn't down for it, since the location changed, I went straight to Workbay's house. I'm telling Workbay what's going on, like exactly how I said it to you guys. I was telling him, who I met, and I wasn't interested. He's just like, okay. So in the house or whatever, we unwinding. I'm updating him like I was telling you guys. Now we finna roll up. We always, roll up every time we see each other. It was not a time that we did not smoke. I'm rolling up, but like now we get into the action. And after that, I KO'd. I woke up, it was like 6 a.m. to a slap across my face. So I was just so confused. Like, he pulled me out of bed and threw me across the room. So he was like, "You a lying bee." Like, how? Like, I was really confused. I'm just like, we just had a great night. It was like, that man was blowing up your phone. And I was like, I told you that. I told you everything that happened. I didn't want no part. So now he's asking me different things in regards to my phone. Anybody knows, like, just as a bottle girl, somebody that works in the club, you get numbers or whatever so you can tell people to come back, or I'm working tonight. So he had asked me about a particular number because he thought it was somebody that he knew, but he still slapped me. Like, every time that he slapped me, he was slapping me for telling the truth. Like, look, I'm telling you the truth for real. He was just like, nah. Then this is what God did. So God started having the enemy speak. He was like, you know why I didn't do this, that, and the third is because I wanted to see you suffer. He was like, when you was waiting for me to do the U-Haul, I really had nothing to do. I was at the house just chilling. I didn't want to do anything for you. So I was just trying to wait to see if Mr. Acquired Taste Street Man, he was saying I was waiting to see if you was going to call him just like how you call him to pay for your bills and everything. So I'm just like, that's crazy. So he was just telling me every single time that he didn't want to show up for me, he really wasn't doing anything. Like, he'll just be ignoring me just to see if I figure it out myself. And he asked me some more questions, and he started swinging me across the room. And it was just crazy. And then, like, he chokes me so bad to the point where like I'm not like I blacked out type thing. But this is where I had my encounter with God. So as he's choking me, like I said, I blacked out, but my soul cried out, Jesus. Like everything just happened so quickly. And I felt something simultaneously come out my body, but I went under. And so as I was under, God gave me a vision, and he was showing me certain things that I've seen in my childhood. I've never been physically abused as a child, but I've seen certain things as a child. So that's why God was saying I was accepting what I was accepting, because I was dissociated from it as a child. And he was showing me my dad. He was saying, like, basically, I'm dating the dad from my childhood. Not saying that my dad was abusive, because my dad is not abusive at all. But he was in an abusive relationship to where he was dissociated. So I had the certain things that happened in his relationship that was happening to me. But as far as like the parallel between my guy that I was dating at the time and my dad that God was making, was they're two broken guys. Basically, that's what God was showing me. After the vision was over, Work Bae was shaking me up, and after that, like, he didn't hit me anymore, but he was just saying, I can't leave the house. So now I'm just hearing him talk crazy to me for hours. And then he was like, hold on, wait, I gotta go to the police station and talk to my parole officer. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. After you just beat me up and almost literally ended my life. And so a part of me was just like, dang, like I kind of want to escape, but I was scared that it was a trick. It's like, I'm not going to leave the house. Mind y'all, his dad is there. Remember I told y'all his dad is sick. So his dad is not hearing necessarily what's going on. But like, I'm in the room like scared to death. Even though, like I told y'all, he didn't hit me anymore. And so moving on, he came back from the police station or whatever. He was like, dang, I thought you was gonna call the police on me type thing. Just kikiing. And I was like, can I go home now? And he was just like, nah. Oh yeah, that's another reason why I couldn't leave, because I ain't have my car. But I wanted to Uber. But yeah. Anywho. And he was like, no, like, I'm gonna wean it out because I don't like you going to that job. I hate that job. I'm just like, well, that's how I'm gonna make my money. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you at this point. Okay, so then we went to Kroger. Went to Kroger, and I was trying to escape there because I'm like, there's police. So I was trying to signal without making it so obvious, but like nobody was, paying me any mind. And I tried to walk away a little bit, see if I can get me an Uber from where I was. But as I was trying to do that, he came and took my phone, and he had me tight on him and stuff like that. So I'm like, dang. Well, I guess I can't get away from here, but like I really want to go home at this point because like my mom is not here, my dad is not here. There's nobody in Atlanta that is my family that I communicate with. Because everything was just so crazy. But anywho, we went back to the house, and he's being nice, and he was like, you want to smoke? And so now he's smoking. He said, after you and we smoke or whatever, you can leave. And so I'm just like, all right. So now he's going in between. He's like, I'm so sorry or whatever. But it's like, he was like, but you deserve it. Like, this man was talking to me like Godfather type thing, blowing smoke up my face. But he was just like, but yeah, you're never going to leave me. Like, we stuck forever. We getting married and all that type of stuff. And I almost fell back into the trap, but I was just like, nah, like I'm good. I'm good. And so after that, I went to work. And I acted like nothing happened. Like, I had to hurry up and get myself back together. And so I didn't even get to see how my face looked beforehand. I just like touched up my makeup because I didn't even get a chance to I didn't have time to do anything after all that happened, because all that was happening from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I had to be at work by I think either 7 or 8. But like when I tell y'all, like my that's probably like the best my makeup ever looked. Like my contour, like my face was so swollen, but it's just like everything that I felt though, I just threw it back in shots. Like I threw it back in weed, the hookah. I just like nobody even knew what was going on with me. I kept that private. Okay, so later on when I went home after work, I took my shower and I'm wiping off my makeup and I decided to pull out my phone while I was in the shower just to see how like, my face was looking. Y'all, like my face was looking like bad. So I'm like, oh, wow. Like I really forgot that I just went through all this. Cause mind y'all, like I told you, I took all them shots and stuff like that. So I'm not even thinking about necessarily what happened in totality because I was still in shock as well. Got out the shower and I just looked at it a little bit more in the mirror. It was just crazy to me. So I was just like, well, I got evidence to go to the police station. So I went to the police station on, I believe, it was Christmas Eve. So this is only like 2 days after the incident or whatever. And so they were telling me like what the process would look like. So that happened. All this happened, y'all. Like I went back to dancing. I danced on Christmas Eve. I danced on Christmas Day. And one of the owners of the strip club, he was just like, Tay, he was like, you know, I love you, but you got to pick one. You got to either pick if you're going to dance or if you're going to do hookah. And I took that as a sign that God was speaking to me. I was just like, I'm going to just think about it. He said, you got to January the 1st to figure out what you're going to do. And so I considered it. I was thinking, I was like, I don't know what the dance path is going to lead me to. It just seemed like every time that I kept pressing into things that I didn't know, things started to get more dark. As I was dancing and haven't made my decision yet, it was one time I was on the stage and God is so funny. So I'm on the stage, mind y'all, every time I got on the stage, I probably really didn't make no money. Every time I danced, like I really wouldn't make any money. But mid-stage dance, God was like, if you want money this bad, I won't give it to you. And so that's all the answers that I needed. So after New Year's Eve, I didn't dance anymore. I let it go. I let go of my dance dreams. I let that go.
Justice!